Okay, you've gotten the bright idea in your head to collect sealed Magic the Gathering or other TCG sealed products. It's time to give you a deep dive on what it takes to make it and why so many other people fail. Investing in sealed Magic cards, let's be honest, it's never looked more unattractive. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today as we go over some of the stuff that I have been through personally, as well as some of you guys out there who are just thinking about getting into this. I want to give you, I guess, my first-hand account of how it's been for me. I know, not my normal type of video in the sense of how I'm going to present it to you, but I want to be kind of straight up, okay? So, when I got back into Magic, it was 2013? When I first kind of started buying sealed product to hold. When I decided that was the time to start spending a few extra bucks and investing in. And I mean investing. I took this as an investment, a way to make money. I didn't need the cards. I already have play sets of power, most cards I needed. I was thinking of a fun way of generating extra revenue. I'll be honest, it hasn't really panned out the way I thought it would, but in some areas, it's been better than expected. So first off, every Magic set's different. Everyone can say that one set's better than another, but what I've learned is there is a niche market for almost any sealed product. If there's a person out there who wants it, if there's a person willing to dive in and spend hard-earned cash. But just like any other collectible, investable thing, the value is in the eye of the beholder. Just because somebody says that box, just because somebody tells me Modern Horizons retail was $5.99 a box, 401 games, that's the value. But it's not. As much as I want it to be, and as much as I want this to hit $1,200-$1,300, that's not the way it works. I hate to burst your bubble. You'll see sealed product in the back here collecting dust. Let that be a lesson to you. It doesn't work out for everyone. The advantage I have over other people, I'm willing to sit on this for eternity. I didn't buy this stuff thinking I'm going to jump and make money the next day. I took the 7 to 9 year approach, which has obviously changed now to more of a 9 to 12 year approach for anyone collecting Magic the Gathering or other TCGs. It just depends on who wants to buy it at any given time. There are highs and lows for anything in the collectible market. There are times it is super hot and spicy and you got offers coming out of everywhere. People wanting product. And there are other times like right now when cash is not trash, you can invest it, get 5% or higher at your bank with no risk. Okay? When you look at Magic products in the backdrop here, there's probably some great success stories there and a lot of failures. I thought for sure these were going to go big time. Battle for Zendikar Fat Packs, I thought easily going to hit $500. Okay, I thought for sure. I think I paid an average of $39.99 all the way up to like $54 hunting down box of this because it had the full art land pack. And I thought I knew what I was doing. Now, it doesn't mean I didn't enjoy buying them. There's part of the thing, the thrill of the hunt of getting this stuff. But I told you I was buying this for investment purposes, and so are you. That's why you're probably still watching the video at this point. So, you've bought the product. You think you know what's going on, and maybe you do. Congratulations, you're one of the few people. I'll tell you right now, this does not replace solid performing stock portfolios. It does not replace real estate. You've probably seen this on Rudy's channel, but I agree. It doesn't replace that stuff. It is another small portion of a way of making money in later years that can be fun. Because if any of these products do go up, if you hit a product that is big and has high desirability, and I'm not saying you go in and buy 100 boxes of something. I generally stick to the rule of one case. 6. Because 6 is manageable. And if the boxes hit big, I can make some money. If a box I paid $100 for in 2014 now becomes worth $800, there's room to negotiate. I can take a loss because the value is in the eye of the beholder. I can take less money, but still appreciate the product and make some money at it. So if it's going for 8, I can sell for 5 because I only paid 100. And I can take that middle ground because remember, it only matters when you got the cash in your pocket. Remember that. Just because you have something looking pretty on a shelf, it's not going to feed your family. It might keep it warm if you burn it, but it's not going to feed your family. Now, I want to show you something here. These are actual sales here. Gate Crash 2013. In 2023, this box is going for $201. Now, recently, some have sold for between $198 and $200. More than one. Interesting. I bought mine for $88. That means right now, there'd be a profit of $112. $112 is going to be mine. That's interesting, right? $112 is mine. Now, depending on how you set up your shipping, what platform you're using, and how you're paying your fees, and of course, if you're selling this back to an LGS, you're not making anything because they're giving you 50, 60 cents on the dollar. They're assuming the risk, so that's not the route to go. You got to find a private one-way seller who wants to buy that product. Now, what I find interesting about older products like this, remember 2013, 10 years old, is that newer product is around that 160, 170 Canadian mark, and that's only 200. And that's what's interesting. Some of these older products like that either are going to go dead forever or they're going to slowly increase in value. Okay, but that's another conversation for another day. I want to share another one with you because these are products that I have bought into at some point. Here is Battle for Zendikar. Now, as of 2023, it's going for $245. These prices are in Canadian. So, of course, in the US, it'll be a lot less because you have like a 30% exchange rate. So they've been selling for between $240 and $260 Canadian. I bought mine for $119.99 Canadian. I think I bought a couple for $104 on the spreadsheet, but generally, I bought them a little bit later, $119.99. That's $108 profit. Isn't it sad that Gate Crash gave me more profit than Battle for Zendikar? In Battle for Zendikar, you can get Expedition Lands, and Gate Crash has nothing going for it. They got some fetch lands, shock lands, right? There's no big cards in Gate Crash. Maybe Ral's Eric, maybe you're hanging out there, or is that Dragon's Maze? I forget. But either way, there's no massive cards to draw that value. So whoever's going to buy these products either has a nostalgic feel for the product and remembers opening it or playing a pre-release, doing some kind of chaos draft. There's a reason they want to buy it. Some people do want to put it on their shelves to show off, have a conversation piece. Other people want to open it, crack it, and play it. The reason doesn't matter. It's just that there has to be a seller and a buyer who can meet in the middle and find that price point. So if you want to be the person to get yours sold first, you're going to have to step up. You're going to have to cut your margins to get that thing out the door. I usually have the rule of double. I like to double my price. If I bought it for 100, I got to sell it for at least 2. So I'll probably let something climb to 4 or 5 so I can settle on the 220, 230 and look like I'm coming off with a great deal on their end, but really I still doubled my profit. And again, I don't go bags deep spending tens of thousands of dollars on sets that I can't clear out. You have to have a way of moving it. It can't just sit in a storeroom forever. There are bigger people out there like Alpha Investments, like some of the big TCG companies who can move massive amounts of property. They can move all kinds of content stuff. They can move singles. They can move sealed. They've got the ability to do so because they got the manpower behind them. You, as a single small-time investor, you can make money at it, but when you get greedy is when mistakes get made. Now, the next one I want to share with you guys, again, we're keeping on the road here. Here is Journey into Nyx. Now, watch this one. Interesting. In 2023, these boxes are only going for $150, and they can have a god pack in them with every single god that was made for the Theros block, right? In 2014, now recently they've sold for between $130 to $170 Canadian. I bought mine at $66. I bought it at the old face-to-face store here in Toronto. I think it was at Woodbine. I bought it there. That means my profit margin is $84 on each box right now. That's 2014. That's 9 years old. That was the time I told people I'd start selling this stuff. It's not where it needs to be sold. After fees and stuff, I'm not going to make enough money to make it worth my while. Packing it, shipping it, delivering it somewhere. It just doesn't make sense. The cost time average, it's better to get a part-time job. Let that thing sit there on the back of my shelf for another 10 years. Sometimes you have to wait. And outwaiting people, the patience game, is something a lot of people do not have. Now, the last one I want to share with you guys today. A Tark here. This is a bigger one. Pay attention. 2014. Now, they're going for $250 a box in 2023. They've been selling for between $220 and $260 Canadian. That's without shipping fees. I bought mine for $99, so the profit is $141. Now here's the funny thing about cons. Most of you guys know, if you've been around a while, they have fetch lands in them. They can have as many as 6. They can have as few as 2. But when you've got cards like Flooded Strand, Polluted Delta, Windswept Heath, if you get a few fetch lands in a box, it almost pays for more than half the box now. It can't stay at that price. Getting 6 in a box, which is the most I ever got, getting 6 and having a foil Polluted Delta along with a regular Polluted, you'll pay for more than the box. And that can't be allowed to stand. Okay, it just can't. And this was the last standard product that had fetch lands in it. But look how the market's reacted right now. Okay, with inflation, everything in the world right now, that's where our prices are at. They're so low, it seems like you think there'd be people lined up around the corner to buy this stuff, and they're not. Some of these products are only selling 1 box a month, but it's good to know that there's still a market for it. Even at a discount, there is a market. There'll be times when people are going to bite at the heels to get these things, thinking they're going to go to the moon. You've got to be the realistic, pragmatic person and understand how this works. These cards do not have liquidity. They are not easily transferable back into hard currency cash so you can go do something else with. So you got to have that negotiation room built into your model if you decide to invest and sell these. You can come out ahead. I have made a lot of money on certain boxes, especially Rise the Eldrazi. I was buying boxes for $100. I sold those for like $800-900. Same with Zendikar, Innistrad. I made a lot of money on those products. Again, I didn't buy as many as I probably should have, but I kept it to my what I consider a safe room, which is that 6 boxes. Okay, I actually bought a couple like $200-300 on Rise the Eldrazi. So I took a smaller profit margin, but I saw how the cards were jumping up in price, so just to keep that in mind. And Zendikar, no, I didn't rebuy Zendikar. I didn't check the spreadsheet, but I didn't rebuy that. So when you take a look at anything you're deciding to sell, you got to look at a lot of factors. How hard and how long are you willing to wait for it to move? Can you wait 15 years? Seems like a long time, doesn't it? And you have to store this stuff. Keep it in a temperature-controlled environment, which is why, again, people get frustrated. They want money now. They either crack the boxes in frustration or they move on to something else. But the idea that there are tons of people sitting on tons and tons of product, I really don't think that's the case. Yeah, people have a few boxes here and there. I've seen that more times than I can count, where it's 2 or 3 boxes of various products. But the idea that you think, oh, there's so much out there, I've never witnessed that. Even with the friends I know who spend big money, tens of thousands of dollars a year, they didn't buy sealed. They went for singles. I have friends who went for power cards before they spiked. And they have all kinds of heavily played Moxen in their collections. They got Time Twisters, Time Walks, multiple copies because they were able to buy it when Bitcoin and stuff like jumped up and they switched over to this type of asset class. Okay? And then Bitcoin crashed and they laughed because they said they made so much money. Because they've held on to these magic cards, and since they're paid for, they can sit on it. So treat these investments as a zero. You got to treat them as if they could sit there literally forever. And if they do jump up, you can decide to maybe sell a box or 2 and cash out a little bit of equity at that time. Pay back yourself for all the time and effort you put in storing, preserving, and keeping these things in good shape. Because unlike a card that can get banned in a set, any set can have a card banned or a couple of cards like we saw in Throne of Eldraine, right? There was cards like Oko that got banned once upon a time, right? Did Embercleave ever get banned? I don't know. Anyway, there was banned cards. But that doesn't make the sealed product worth any less. That's interesting, right? The sealed product actually go up more because people will think very fondly of the set and all the news and the stuff around it that just made it an engaging set. And you have to look at those things because when you're selling any type of collectible, I don't care if it's a Transformers, Star Wars toy, you need players, you need buyers. Now, it doesn't have to be a player for a collectible. You need those kind of people who are interested enough to spend the money to buy it, to relive part of their childhood, to reconnect to a game or a passion they loved as a kid. That's why people buy these things. And the second you forget that, and you think you can just buy tons of this stuff and sell it whenever you want, that's when you're killing yourself and you don't realize it, right? That you could be overdoing it. You are hedging your bets that everything's going to work out. But what you need to do is be sure you can buy some of this stuff and build up a small collection over time, not rushing. And then you can buy things on sale once in a while, put a little petty cash, keep some powder dry to buy when a good deal comes up at a face-to-face, a 401, wherever your local retailer is in the world, because deals do come up with all these Amazon dumps. I'm not saying those things won't ever go up again. They could climb in value, because when people buy things that cheap, they usually crack it open. They're like, who cares, it was $80, and they start ripping into boxes for no reason, just because they can, because it's so inexpensive, which of course drains the market of the available stock over time. So just to wrap things up here, because I know this was like a little bit of a longer video today, but I wanted to give you like an honest feel. Like, I've had a lot of success doing it. I've sold singles, made a lot of money. I've been stuck though with some products, and again, it's not a bad product. It's still a good product, but it's never attained the value I need to ever move any of my position. So I usually save these things, and some of the things you see in the background here and my storeroom, I keep that stuff for like when I hit these 10K, 20K parties. I just basically sell this stuff at the cost I bought it back then. So I always break even. People think they're getting, like, this is an amazing deal, Moxman, you're giving us a great deal. Yeah, I am, because I can afford to do it. I've already paid for it. It's bought and paid for. I don't care about the increase in value. I care about sharing a great experience with the community, where everyone gets that good deal that I'm able to give them. It's kind of fun. So yeah, I hope you found this interesting. I hope you stuck around and watched the video. I hope you put Necronomicon in the comments section, because you found me in the nacho cheese universe that is YouTube. And that's one of those hard things to do. But it's not easy. I could have done all kinds of charts and sheets and showed you guys stuff, but that's not what it's about, because it is that appeal. You have to be able to appeal to the customer. They have to somehow meet there to find that passion together. One person's selling, one person's buying, right? Anyway, thanks a lot for hanging out today, guys. Slam those comments in the comments section. Let me know what you think. Are you investing? Are you buying? Are you holding stuff? Yeah, I know I still have the most Mox Ambers in the entire world, and I'm really proud of that. But I did sell a whole bunch too, right? Right before the crash. Sometimes you just got to get out and get some profit back in to pay down your debts. All right, guys, have a great day today. Thanks for hanging out. I'm leaving now. Don't worry. I'm going to click things off, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Here we are at that special time at the end of the video. You're getting ready to eat dinner. You're chilling out with some friends. Maybe you're just, kicking it back. Where I get to say thank you to the fantastic patrons of the channel, supporting me each and every day. It means a lot, guys. Patrons, you rock. All right, you're here at the end of the video. The biggest thing I want to take away for you guys who make it to the end: do not have regrets about selling things. It's in the past. It's done. I've sold Black Lotuses for $2,500. Do I kick myself? No. No, I don't, because I came out ahead. I still made profit at the time. And if I invested those profits wisely, those sales equaled more sales somewhere else, and I still came out ahead in the end. People who invest in this stuff always kick themselves when they go, oh, I should have waited a little bit longer. Oh, the deal could have been higher. It could have. It can. There's always going to be a flip side to everything. But at some point, you have to realize you can't kick yourself for stuff like that. You've just got to work through it, do the best you can, make the best choices at the time. Hindsight's 2020. Oh, I kicked myself. Yeah, if I go back and buy carded Star Wars figures for $1 from the People's Department Store, I would. If I go to Consumers Distributing and pay $1.99 for G.I. Joe figures like Tomax and Zaymot, or a BAT, remember the BAT, Battle Android Trooper, BAT, buy the Terror Drone for $29.99, I would, guys. I would go back and buy that stuff. Of course we would. You'd also pick the winning lottery tickets. You'd know who's winning the Super Bowl. You'd know who's winning the Stanley Cup. You'd be good. We would all have a good idea. Again, hindsight's 2020. Never kick yourself. If you came out ahead and you at least doubled your profit, you know you did good at the time, and that's all that matters, guys. If you're going to go into this investment game of holding on. Most people are not here anymore, though. Remember that, too. And there's a reason they're not here. They just couldn't make it. It's hard. All right? Guys, have a great one, man. Any questions, hit me up in the comments section. Happy to help. Or, of course, email if you want something more private.